Hello, I want to present our paper, the Parliamentary Code Switching Corpus, Bilingualism in the Ukrainian Parliament in the 1990 to 2020. Since Ukrainians' independence, the share of the use of the Ukrainian language in society has gradually increased, and the share of Russian has decreased. The war of 2022 has significantly accelerated this process. The issues of Ukrainian Russian bilingualism have been the subject of many studies by Ukrainian linguists in the 21st century. On this slide, you can see two diagrams which show how often people in Ukraine use Russian and Ukrainian language in everyday, at work, at university, in different years. Corpus-based studies of Ukrainian and Russian bilingualism have not yet become widespread, and an exception is the audiobook Surge Corpus, which consists of mixed speech recordings made by researchers in different regions of Ukraine. This study is based on it that examines the distribution of different variants within mixed Ukrainian-Russian speech depending on the region and the characteristics of speakers. So our goal is showing the process of created parliament code switching corpus from the original parliament transcripts. We try to describe the most common types of code switching in parliament speeches and also present an analysis of the transcripts regarding the speaker language as it's related to normative documents and political events. The corpus of Verkhovna Rada proceedings contains text recorded from 1990 until 2021. Download from the official websites of the Verkhovna Rada. The size of the corpus is about 70 million tokens. In our work, we worked with transcripts from 2010 to 2019. General information of these files is presented in table in this slide. You can see the number of files, number of sentences, and number of tokens. And also you can see the example of transcripts and the structure in this slide. You can see the name of speaker, time step, speech, etc. A specific feature of the corpus is that it presents a bilingual Ukrainian-Russian discourse with different shares of Ukrainian, Russian, and mixed speech in different years. The Ukrainian language prevails in the corpus, and its share was increased over the years from the minimum of 76% in 1995 to 100% in 2020. A general approach to the proceeding of parliamentary transcripts is presented in the slide. So the stenography allows for variation in the spelling of the names and surnames of speakers, such a large number of spaces or spaces between initials before proceeding the entire files. We normalize all speakers. We bring them to the form surname plus initials name plus patronymics. This helps to feature significantly reduce the number of incorrect files for each income. Then we divide the entry transcripts by speakers, namely members of parliament, invited ministers, etc. As a result, a separate file was generated for each speaker. Speakers separately is done automatically on the basis of the transcription, but we carry out the identification of the head at the meeting in the parliament. He or she is to mention once at the beginning of the meeting and also change within one convocation. The further statement of head for one convocation may refer to different people. After this, we clean up the speaker's line of tie steps and remarks. And the next step, we try to determine the language of each sentence, and we used for this LinguaPy library. After this, we identify and calculate the text properties of speeches, save the information with additional speakers' data into output file. It was interesting for us to investigate what influenced the change in the number of people speaking Ukrainian in the parliament. If we look in the diagram, this diagram, we show that after 2001, growth began, but in 2007, the number of speakers greatly decreased. What influenced the use of the Ukrainian language in official organization? First of all, in the 2012, the Kovalova-Kolesnichenko law was adopted, which allowed to use not only Ukrainian but also other languages in the parliament. This law caused significant public resonance and was revoked in February 2014 after the Russian invasion. In February 2018, this law was declared unconstitutional, and in 2019, a new law on ensuring the function of the Ukrainian language as a state language was adopted, which established the mandatory use of Ukrainian in the official sphere. The increase in the use of the Russian language in the parliament in 2007 may be related, from the one hand, to the campaign in the Verkhovna Rada against President Viktor Yushchenko, who would support a pro-Western course and derussification, and from the other hand, to Ukrainians' ratification of the European chapter for regional and minority languages. The most important documents for the Ukrainian language political are these documents. And these documents involve on all language processing in Ukraine, of course. Also, we try to analyze different types of code switching in our corpus. We analyze only 1 year, but of course, we need to analyze all corpus, all cases of code switching. So we found Ukrainian speakers insert phraseology or quotations in Russian. Russian speakers insert the name of laws and documents in Ukraine very often. Usually, if we have Russian speech in Russian, and insert official document in Ukraine. Ukrainian speakers insert words in Russian. Unmotivated have a mixing of Russian and Ukraine. The speakers switch languages for stylistic purposes. Trigger code switching. Some words or some official documents work as a trigger for code switching. Code switching in a dialogue under the influence of the interlocutor speech. Language speech is used to mark quarter speeches, and switching to another language to illustrate a tolerant attitude to linguistic diversity. So, in our work, we present the Ukrainian-Russian code switching corpus of Ukrainian Parliament session transcripts, its composition, annotation, and research possibilities. We try to analyze different laws and the general political situation and how this affects to the actual use of languages in the council and in parliament, of course. In the future, we plan to process the entire corpus of parliament transcripts and add additional labeling such as part of speech, some entities, maybe connection between entities, between speakers. And we want to say that after we submit our paper to this workshop, we found colleagues from Slovenia and Ukraine who also start to work on such a corpus, but already within the framework of the Clarin Consortium and in the format used by all the parliaments of the European Union. We have already discussed their results and ours and decide to join force in order not to duplicate the corpora, first of all, and to prove this corpora. This summer, it's planned to release part of the Ukrainian Parliament corpus. It will be available with the interface and for download with a large amount of metadata and entities. So you can find more information about our research in our paper. Thank you for your attention.